this is what you have to do. You have to believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Shalom. Giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. Another episode going into news and prophecy, linking the things that are happening in the world right before our very eyes to the Holy Scriptures. All right, showing the faithful elect, the remnant, that the words of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, are faithful and true as we chant down Babylon the Great, as well as this beast system, all right, that has a grip over the entire planet Earth, headed by Esau, Edom, the biblical Edomites, who hide behind terms European, white, all right, and everything else except, all right, what the scriptures tell you that they are and who the scriptures tell you that they are, as well as all of the heathen nations that are joined into them, all right, to accomplish what they are trying to accomplish, which is a new world order, all right, to undermine the authority of the Most High, X out his son, and establish themselves as the gods of the earth, all right, undermining the blessing that was given unto Jacob, which trickled down to the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, and as you can see, ultimately there's great confusion in the earth, all right. I was looking at this article here. The priest Tazama went on it, and we'll go into it. But first, we're going to deal with what's happening in the form of war being prepared. But as you can see here, globalists have another shock event planned in pursuit of the 4Ds: digitalization, dehumanization, destruction, and depopulation. All right. And if you look into the earth, these four things, all right, are ultimately right before your face. All right. You see the digitization of the world. You know, the dollar is getting ready to be no more. Smart cities are being set up. Digital IDs, all of these things that stem from what happened in 2020. Okay. But we're coming into the times where another event, all right, or crisis must happen so that they can forward. All right, we see the dehumanization, all right, with the behavior patterns that are being pushed on the people, the lack of morals, okay, robots showing up to football games. All right, we're seeing a dehumanization process, ritual take place right in your face. They're putting all manner of demons in front of you in the form of musicians, all right, Satanists are, on the rise. All of these, ungodly practices and behaviors are boasting themselves. I was also looking at this real quick. As the number of people worldwide departing from religion has now reached alarming rates, all right, and this is ultimately a testament to the perilous times spoken of. All right, let's get that in the book of Timothy. Okay. And ultimately, the Heavenly Father has allowed his left hand to take root in the earth, all right, which is through the spiritual demon Satan. Okay, so let's go here to the book of 2 Timothy. All right, the love of many is waxing cold. It says, this also know that in the last days perilous times shall come. All right, and the word perilous in the Greek,
Strong's G 5467. Chalepas. Chalepas.
okay, hard to deal with or deal, difficult, fierce. All right, and there we go. Hard to do, to take, to approach. We're approaching perilous times. Okay, the amount of homeless people, just walking around you. This is all a dehumanization process. Okay, men walking around with pumps and dresses. Okay, cutting their rods off. Women cutting their breast off. Okay, troublesome, hard to bear. Okay, rent is high as hell. Okay, the food is high as hell. People are feeling the squeeze. Harsh, fierce, savage. Okay, and all of these things are being brought on by the powers that be. Synonymously, because people have no fear of the Heavenly Father, men are going to be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. See? Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, all right, incontinent. Okay, let's look up the word incontinent. Okay, these are the times we're living in right now. Okay, having no insufficient voluntary control over urinary or defecation. You're walking in the streets, all right, and you're just seeing nothing but filth. Okay, lacking self-restraint. People don't have any self-restraint. Ungoverned, unchecked, uncontrolled, uncurbed. Are not we witnessing, all right, these times now? Well, it has a lot to do with the fact that people worldwide are departing from the Most High because of these false religions that have been rooted into the earth. In particular, Christianity. A lot of people are coming to the conclusion that it was a farce. This whole Jesus character was an idol, a farce. All right, it was all ultimately put into the earth, all right, to draw in confusion. All right. It says here, there's a global, fast-growing population of people without a religion. Okay, and a religion ultimately goes into what you religiously do, what you worship. See? In the scriptures, it talks about the Jews' religion. Now, we say that we don't have a religion. This isn't a religion in a sense of it's Christianity, but technically we do have a religion, and ultimately it's walking in the spirit, keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of our ability through faith in Yahweh Shai. That's what we religiously do. All right. And how you act and how you govern yourself should be a result of what you worship. You see, but people here in this world have no control over their actions. They have no system to go to check them. So basically, you see people walking around doing as they wilt. And this is the chaotic environment that the elite wanted. Okay, they're taking rights from parents, children, and walking around, all right, doing as they want. Okay, demons are popping up everywhere, being forced down, people's throat. An attack on the youth. The parents are too worn out from work to even care. Broken homes. Okay, this was the plan of the elite. When you read the book called, all right, The New World Order, it goes into everything that Wisdom and Solomon, the 14th chapter, said, all right, will be at the forefront of breaking down societies. Idol worship, okay? Disorder in marriage, shaming of good men, okay? Disquieting of good men. Changing of kind, where, a man wants to be a woman wants to be a man. Okay? Religion has long been a powerful force in society, touching politics, art, and daily life. And they separated, the government from the church. All right, meaning that the government no longer governed by, the fear of a higher power. See? The rise of non-believers and people with no religious affiliation is diminishing its influence. Okay? By the numbers, 3 in 10 U.S. adults said they have no religious affiliation. Okay? That means ultimately there's a lot of people walking around, and the people who do say that they believe in God or they believe in the Bible, all right, they have no biblical worldview. They're not being taught, all right, the Bible from the perspective of the truth. So even they are walking around talking about they believe in the Bible and they worship Jesus, but they really worship Satan, because Jesus is really Tammuz. So you have nothing but a bunch of confusion spreading itself about the earth. And half of them identify as atheists or agnostic, all right, which is a big gray area. Okay, and a lot of this goes back to the ancient Roman Empire, which there's a trend going on, all right, where men can't stop thinking about the Roman Empire. You have people on TikTok, women recording their men, and there's this big trend that men can't stop thinking about the Roman Empire because we're in Rome again, and Rome is getting ready to fall. But that's another lesson for another time. It says about half of them identify as atheists or agnostic, okay, which let's look up agnostic real quick so you can get an understanding. And these teachings go back to Rome, okay, which really go back to Babylon, and we're in Babylon the Great, which ultimately points towards what? Confusion. A person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence or nature of God or anything beyond material phenomena. If you can't see it, if you can't touch it, all right, we don't know. It's not true. A person who claims neither faith nor disbelief in God. Okay, so it's a gray area. Like I said, a big gray area. And a lot of people are walking around living in gray areas. And what can they see? Things like money, sex, power, control, whatever it may be. Okay, a doubtful or non-committal attitude towards something. Okay, and the other half say their religion is nothing in particular. Okay, the shift away from religion is even starker among younger adults, with 43% 18 to 29-year-old Americans responding none when they ask which religion they follow. But fewer than 20% of U.S. adults over 60 are nuns. All right, meaning even the older people, okay, have become godless. Okay, and when you live in a society where there's no fear of a higher power, or people don't have a system intact that checks their, actions, then you have what you see in front of us, which gives the elite the go-ahead, all right, to bring in order to the chaotic environment that has been created. Okay, the trend is gaining momentum across the world. Okay, so pretty much we're in those perilous times talked about, all right, in the book of Timothy, the difficult times to come. This is a prophecy that Apostle Paul has given us, okay, and warning Timothy, who would be the teacher and the head of a church in Ephesus. And we're in a modern day Ephesus, where you have nothing but idols being worshipped. The Queen of Heaven, which is Diana, that spirit is here. All right. And we're witnessing, all right, people without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, all right, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of the Most High. All right, and there's a scripture. Let's get that in the book of, I believe, 2nd Esdras, maybe the 8th chapter. Let's see here, or the 7th chapter, could be the 5th chapter. Boom. 2nd Esdras 5:1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden. Now, we read this, we think about people dying, which, yeah, we're seeing people dying in great number, but people are being taken more so by, unbelief, being overtaken by demonic spirits. As the scriptures say, when an unclean spirit goeth out of a man, all right, he seeketh rest somewhere else. But when he comes back and sees that man hasn't, built himself up, he go and taketh 7 other spirits more stronger than him. All right. And basically they're having a party. These spirits are dwelling and lying inside of the minds of all of the people, the majority of the people walking through the streets. Okay, so there's no trust. All right, and we have to cling closer, harder and harder to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, it says, behold, the days come that they which dwell on the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be bearing of faith. And what would that lead to? Iniquity shall be increased above that which thou seest, all right, or that thou heardest, all right, long time ago. And the land that thou seest now to have root shall thou see wasted suddenly, all right? And things have gotten significantly worse, okay? So let's jump down just to get to the point, because there's some other articles I want to get to. In the Sodomites Sea, all right, which this is that Sodomites Sea. The sea represents the people, shall cast out fish, okay, which represents death. As we even look, now we can just, all we have to do is go to a Google search or any, whatever search you use and type in, fish dying in the waters. And that's just a trend that represents death. Well, in the spiritual sense, the Sodomites Sea is casting out death. Okay. Wicked philosophies. Okay. The wicked, mindsets. All right. And make a noise in the night, which we're in the night. We're in darkness, but we are the children of day. Okay. We're the children of light. We don't live in that darkness any longer, which many have not known, but they shall hear the voice thereof. So the voice thereof is ultimately Esau, Edom's wicked philosophies, which the scriptures say his tongue, I believe it's in the book of Psalm 73, walketh throughout the earth. Let's just get that real quick. The book of Psalm 73 and 9. They set their mouth against the heavens. They are against everything that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has ordained, okay, to be good. And we're seeing the result of it. And their tongue walketh through the earth. Their philosophy, he transgresseth by wine. All right. That tongue, that wine, has ultimately traveled throughout the whole entire planet Earth. And everybody's hearing the voice thereof. And many of these various different nations are starting to see, all right, the moral decay of their people. As the scriptures say, the love of many will wax cold. That word cold is cycle. People are losing their mind. Now we're seeing the importance of the order of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. So we're seeing the alphabet, all right, community take root, which that doesn't stop at a man with man and woman with woman. It's man with child, man with animal. All manner of perversions are just being pushed. See? And there shall be a confusion in many places, and the fire shall oft be sent out again. Fires everywhere, and a wild beast shall change their places, and minstrous woman shall bring forth monsters. Okay? And we're witnessing that. Badass kids, monsters coming out with 2 heads, 20 fingers on one hand, all kind of, newborn come out with teeth, big head, Elamite children, big ass heads. You like, what is this? This is what's happening. Mistress woman bringing forth monsters, crack babies, those are monsters. All right. And the salt waters shall be found in the sweet. All right. Meaning they've mixed and mingled all of these philosophies so that nobody can really come to the understanding of what is true. So this is why wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of the times of the elect, because the Lord has given us the Holy Spirit, and friends shall fight. All right. And all friends shall destroy one another, and wit shall hide itself. Wit. All right. Let's look up the word wit. I want to see what that means, because I know how to explain it, but I don't want to butcher it. So what I'm going to do is let's go to etymology online, and we'll go to yep, derision. That's hilarious. Wit. So wit shall hide itself. Mental capacity. Wit. All right. Understanding, intellect, sense, knowledge, consciousness, intelligence of the mind, understanding. Okay? Metaphorically, to know true knowledge would hide itself in people are what? Following pseudoscience, pseudo understanding. You see? And these are the times we're living in. Okay? Wit shall hide itself and understanding shall withdraw itself in his secret chamber, and things are going to drastically get worse, and shall be sought of many, and yet shall not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied in the earth. Let's look up this word, incontinency. Okay? Incontinency. So are you not witnessing these things? Okay? Let's see the full definition. So what we'll do is do it like this. Let's see here. Let's just look up this word this way. Incontinence. Maybe incontinence. What the hell? They got a clothing line? The quality of state of being incontent, quality of being incontent, want of contentions, of holding in, unrestrained movement. All right. Incontent. Let's just look this word up then. Continent. No, this is incontinent. Having no sufficient voluntary control over urinary, boom, unrestrained, uncontrolled, lacking self-restraint. So, boom, because of the lack of the fear of the Lord, all right, we're seeing what? Incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. People have no self-control, all right, and as things get worse and worse, these are the things that we're going to witness, okay? People that are going to be what? Traitors, 2 Timothy 3 and 4. Heady, high-minded, even within Israel. Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort, all right, are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sin, led away with diverse lust. And we're witnessing this all over the earth, all right? Even in Israel, okay, people using, false doctrines and things to become rich. All right. And if you notice, the common denominator is a lot of women that follow these type of people. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. But these are the things that the elite are going to use. You know, right? This is their plan: digitization. All right, dehumanization, destruction, and depopulation. All right, and we'll get to that article. But I wanted to start here, where you have Israel. All right, this is off of endtimeheadlines.org. Israel is at a full-scale war following surprise attack from Hamas. Over 5,000 rockets fired. Salaki, I just woke up. So I'm trying to get my mind together. So if I stumble over a few words, bear with me. But boom, you can see the article now. I'll just pull up the video and let's get busy. Israel's at war. Right? How? I thought the true people of the Lord had returned to that land. I thought that was the city where, peace would usher forth from the teachings of peace. Well, that's not happening. Showing you ultimately, and as all of these prophecies get fulfilled, it only validates everything that the prophets have been saying. So call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So a Palestinian militant group, Hamas, launched a huge aerial and ground operation from the Gaza Strip. Now, why are those Palestinians waging war? Because the people that call themselves the JEWs went over there bombing, raping, robbing, murder, and stealing their land. Yet nobody has anything to say about that. Now, scripturally, none of them are the rightful heirs of the land over there, which that's not a fulfillment of the promised land. It's just a piece of it. But that don't belong to none of them. But this is ultimately a fulfillment of what the Lord said would happen in the latter days. Let's get the book of Ezekiel, the 36th chapter. Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus said the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, you Edomites, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. And you haven't done anything righteous, all right, with your control of that land. This is why the Lord is getting ready to end everything. This is why war is being prepared. Okay, this is why things are getting significantly worse, because the rightful owners of that land aren't there. The true sons of God being brought back to that land, all right, marks, all right, the process of peace really being established back into the earth. So Luke, the 21st chapter, tells us this as we go through our prophecy, because we haven't been in that land as a nation, all right, going back, to the times of Solomon, all right. But eventually, the kingdom split, and you had Jews, all right, the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi who were in the land. But eventually in 70 AD, we were kicked out. And since that point, that land has been under the control of many heathen. Luke 21 and 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. This was what happened when we were kicked out, starting at 66 AD, leading in 70 AD. All right. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. This is speaking of the natural Gentiles. Okay, so that land will be in control of literal heathen. All right, but there will be a point where their times will be ended, and this is what we're looking at happening in the planet Earth. Okay.
Let's bring in Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent Andrea Mitchell, who can certainly help us unpack the historical context of this just remarkable attack. Andrea, good morning to you. Thank you for waking up bright and early for us. There are skirmishes like this in this region all of the time, but for
there's skirmishes like this all the time in this region. Yet the true Jews have returned home, right? Well, we know, pursuing the prophecy, there wouldn't be any war anymore. And we'll get that in a minute, but let's listen to this.
Folks at home who are just waking up, there has been nothing like this in terms of its complexity, in scale, in recent memory. Help people understand, what is the objective here from Hamas? Is this just sheer terror? Is this about...
It's funny that the U.S. media will call their retaliation to those small hats terror, but the U.S. media never takes the position that it's terror, all right, that the so-called Israelis are putting on the Palestinians. This is how you know we live in Esau's kingdom. We live in a system of Edomite supremacy, so everything is geared towards making him right and anyone who retaliates to him wrong.
A fight over land? What is it?
It is sheer terror, certainly according to the Israelis. And Joe and Laura, this is not just unprecedented. Nothing on this scale has ever been contemplated. This is not something that the Israeli government was clearly, prepared for. The Iron Dome, I just spoke to a spokeswoman at the embassy here, says that the Iron Dome is working, but that the fact that they came by land, sea, and air was what was so remarkable. She said that at least 3 villages in southern Israel are now occupied and controlled by Hamas. But the main concern is to liberate those villages and also to try to get to the citizens, the Israeli civilians, women and children, she said, who are...
So, yeah, the things are turning up. See here.
This is in the south of Israel. Raf, good morning. What is the latest where you are?
Joe, Laura, good morning. Israelis woke up today to find their worst nightmares had come true in the form of a massive surprise attack by Palestinian militants from Gaza. As we speak, Palestinian gunmen are inside Israeli cities and towns, something we have never before seen on this scale, and they are fighting running gun battles against Israeli ground forces. Hamas, the major Palestinian militant group that controls Gaza, says they have taken Israelis hostage and they have taken them back inside of Gaza. Now, the Israeli military says this infiltration came by land, by sea, and by air in the form of Hamas gunmen on paragliders infiltrating into Israeli territory. And this was done under the cover of a barrage of more than 2,000 rockets fired in the early hours of this Shabbat morning. Guys, I wanted just to explain to you what the scene is.
Yeah, on their Sabbath, here it is. They're getting attacked, completely through, and this is a testament of everything we've been telling you. We've been telling you, all right, that, ultimately when the true Jews get to that land, all right, let's get the book of Micah, the fourth chapter. This is basically the end of the Gentiles, having control over that land. All right, war. All of these things are being prepared, all right, to return the true Jews to their land. All right, as we're going to show you, great war has to happen, all right, in order for the true Jews to be brought back to that land. All right, they're not going to go back by a Balfour Declaration. It's going to be all 12 tribes, not just the Jews, not just Judah, Benjamin, Levi, not just Judah, which is one tribe, okay? It's going to be all 12 tribes returning to that land in a miraculous fashion. All right. As a matter of fact, let's get it in the book of Isaiah 2 and 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house, all right, the true government, the tabernacle of David, shall be established in top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills, and nations shall flow into it. So no other government is going to be running. There's not going to be an Islamic mosque over there. All right. No other, representation from any other God. It's going to be the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who's going to establish his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushua, who's going to establish the tabernacle of David, starting with the 12 disciples, the rest of the 144,000, and then you'll have the large multitude. Okay. And the nations are going to flow into it. People aren't flowing unto the nation of Israel to learn righteousness. Okay. And many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the house of the Lord and to the house of the God of Jacob. All right. The tabernacle of David, man. Okay. The house of David, the house of Jacob is all synonymous, man. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth out of Zion shall go forth the law. All right, the true government, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem, which means what? Teaching of peace. Let's get that. All right, that city was meant for righteousness to flourish out of, which, pursuant to Isaiah, the 26th chapter, let favor be shown unto the wicked. All right. And he's not going to behold the magnificence of the Lord, the majesty of the Lord. Nothing but pseudoscience, evil, wickedness, godless, satanic ideologies is flowing into the world under their rule. All right. Yah-ra-wa-shalom, or Yerushalayim. All right. The teaching of peace. All right. The teaching of peace. All right. The word yara means to shoot. All right. To throw, to cast, to direct, to instruct, to teach. All right. So the yara. All right. And then shalom. All right. Is what? Peace. So the teaching of peace. All right. When the true Israelites return to that land, will go forth from Jerusalem. All right. But right now, is that happening? No. Okay. The scriptures told you that it would be trodden down of actual heathen until their time was up. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares. See, right now we're in a time of what? Nations. All right. Pursuant to the book of Joel, what are the nations being told to do? No. Joel 3. As a matter of fact, I have it pulled up here. Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let the men of war draw near, and let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, meaning do away with agricultural, forwarding yourselves and forwarding agriculture and farming and the land and all of these things. All right. And get more into buying missiles and defense and link yourself to these different nations that are going to train you up. Prepare war, basically. All right. Prepare war and wake up the mighty men. The nations are now being told to beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither to cause thy mighty ones to come down. Let the heathen be awakened. See, the heathen are being awakened, but what are they being told now? All right, to get swords, all right, and spears, which is nuclear capability, missiles, defense systems, and whatever, to prepare themselves to defend themselves in this war to come. See, but in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, they're going to be told to beat their swords into plowshares because they're going to work in the kingdom of heaven. And their spears into pruning hooks. They're not going to need nuclear missiles. All of those things won't be needed. We're going to bury weapons in our kingdom. We're not going to need that. We're going to burn them. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. O house of Jacob, come ye, let us walk in the light of Yahweh. So in the kingdom of heaven, when the true Israelites return to their land, all right, you're not going to have.
Where we are right now, we are on one of the major highways in southern Israel. You would expect this road to be full on a holiday weekend, and instead you can see behind me, this is an Israeli military checkpoint. Israeli forces here are searching all cars that are going past because they do not know at this point where these Palestinian gunmen are, and they are afraid these gunmen may try to be getting north towards Tel Aviv, towards Jerusalem. As we've been here, we have seen just a stream of Israeli special forces driving south towards the Gaza border, and they are heading to confront those gunmen in the towns and cities in the south. Guys.
So the earth is full of violence, even over there, right, in the Holy Land, man. Okay, let's get what I quoted, Isaiah 26, real quick. Get a few more articles, a few more videos, and close it out. But that's proof that the true Jews ain't in that land. But ultimately, it's prophecy. Okay? Isaiah 26:9, with my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. And that's what the elect are doing. Ain't no other nation calling for a righteous kingdom to be set up, where the law, statutes, and commandments govern, all right, the way people interact and deal with each other. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. See, when the Lord sends judgment, the purpose is going to be, all right, that everybody learns righteousness. Okay? See, we're going to have it in us, all right, but we're going to be a light to you nations, and you're going to come to Jerusalem, the true Israelites, to learn how to live. That's where the government is going to start, at the garden east in Eden. Let favor be showed unto the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness he will deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Wow. And this is what we're witnessing. This is why the Lord is getting ready to spew out of there. All right. Your kindness to the wicked does not make them do good. So the Lord has, given you devils a blessing. And that doesn't mean you're going to do good. Although others do right, the wicked keep doing wrong and take no notice of the Lord's majesty. All right, which, as the scriptures say, who are you, covenant into my mouth? What is that? Psalms 50. So you devils are, hold up. You devils are through. Psalms 50:16. But unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, that thou shouldest take it my covenant in thy mouth? Okay, when you declare yourself to be the people of the Lord, the true Israelites, okay, you went over there and took the land through that Balfour Declaration and did your wickedness, you put a target on your back by the Most High. All right, Esau. All right, basically, you know what is required. All right, just like Cain knew what was required, but you're doing your own thing. Seest thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. Just like Cain, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him and has been a partaker, all right, with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil and thy tongue frameth deceit. All right, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Okay, the Israelites. Okay, that is our, you know, our twin, remember? Okay, Jacob and Esau. These things have thou done, and I kept silence. All right, the Lord, all right, hadn't addressed you until he raised up the prophets. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. So you're being reproved. This is why all of these things are happening. Okay, you're being reproved. And the Lord is setting the true Israelites in order, okay, you know, right before your eyes, man. And it's great fear falling on our enemies, all right? But if you look throughout the world, you see nothing but chaos, man. But, yeah, there's a full-fledged war going on in Israel, okay? All right, 22 people have been killed so far from what they know. All right, but hey, here we go.
Breaking right now on Eyewitness News at 11, rocket attacks in the Gaza Strip and Israel and a major new escalation. This video showing firefighters putting out fires after rockets hit parts of Israel. Air raid sirens blaring around the city. No word yet on any casualties. Hamas has not claimed responsibility for this attack, but the group recently announced a new operation against Israel. The Israeli military says it's now hitting targets in the Gaza Strip, and Gaza residents say they heard clashes along the fence with Israel. We will continue to follow this story and bring you more details as we learn them. Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
Hell nah. All of you heathen got go get spewed out of that land. But moving along, Putin warns that when Russia nukes America, there will be no chance of survival. There will be no single enemy left. Okay, and this is all, you know, everything we're seeing with this war. All right, let's read it here. The Russians are feverishly preparing to fight a nuclear war, but our leaders continue to insist that nuclear war is not a threat because the Russians would never use the nuclear weapons against us, no matter how much we may provoke them. See, this is the pride of thine heart have deceived thee. In fact, I was just reading an article on the official NATO website that was altered by a former U.S. official in which he openly admitted that he is assuming that the war in Ukraine will end without Russian nuclear use. Okay, and we know eventually the NATO is going to get involved, and the U.S. is going to get involved. It's going to be a mess. Israel is going to get involved. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin continues to make public statements about nuking America. This week, he told the entire world that there will be no chance of survival once he launches nuclear missiles at us. Who's us? The U.S., Babylon the Great. Okay, and all of these things are happening synonymously. The Israelites are being awakened, and that's the prophecy. You know, Jeremiah the 50th chapter. Jeremiah the 50th chapter. Let's see here. and 3, for out of the north, that's Russia, cometh up a nation against her that shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. So Putin is prophesying. The Lord is putting the spirit on him to fulfill prophecy. Okay, that they shall remove, all right, and they shall depart both man and beast in those days and at that time, as these things are being prepared, saith Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, Judah and Ephraim, all right, being reunited, going and weeping. They shall go and shall seek the Lord their God. See? And they shall ask for the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, all right, turning to the east, praying, calling on the Lord to come back, calling themselves Israelites, all right, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. See, and all of these things are happening right now. You know, the Lord is preparing war, because before the kingdom is set up, okay, as it says here, all right, the birth and reign of the Prince of Peace, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay, see, these prophecies are basically exposing everything that runs this world, all of the lies, the pseudoscience, who the true Jew is, all exposing, all right, these prophecies coming to pass, which are being spoken by the prophets into existence, are all exposing what is true. All right, Isaiah 9:5, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, all right, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Fuel. All right. It's going to be brought on by those nuclear missiles, man. So every warrior of the ancient world was fought with confused noise. All right. Horses, you know, the chariots, swords, and garments rolled in blood. But this one is going to be, all right, with fuel and fire. All right. And that's going to lead to Yahweh Shai's kingdom. For unto us a child is born, and a son is given, and a government shall be upon his shoulder. He's going to be the high priest. As the high priest bore the ephod on his shoulder, all right, with the 12 stones, you know, that's going to be on Yahweh Shai's shoulders. And his name shall be called the Wonderful, the Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. See? The Prince of Peace. See, the in Jerusalem is where he's going to rule out of, that garden east in Eden. And peace is going to be flourished throughout the whole entire planet Earth in the form of the law, statutes, and commandments being the standard way everybody will have to govern themselves. And of the increase of his government, there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of Yahweh Bashmi Ashar will perform this. So ultimately, the throne of David is getting ready to be established. But before that, all right, there's going to be a nuclear war. Okay, Revelation 18:13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, having saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpets of the 3 angels which are yet to sound. So woe, 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 3 world wars. Okay. Revelation 11:14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right. And this is what we're witnessing in the planet Earth. Russia prepares for World War III as public receives nukes. All right. Incoming warnings, receives nuke incoming warnings. Okay. So there you go. I mean, this is the atmosphere on the earth. We're witnessing the chaotic environment that the latter days spoke of. We're witnessing the heathen assembling themselves. We're witnessing all of these things that are leading us to what is known as the return of Yahweh Shai. Okay. And when Yahweh Shai returns, all of the wars that are going on, okay, they're going to try to fight Yahweh Shai, man. Let's see, 2nd Esdras 13. I had it up. Just read a little bit of that. 2nd Esdras 13. And let's see here. And 29, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, the elect. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, because all of these ungodly people, they're not thinking that this is getting ready to happen. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, one realm against another. Boom. This is what's happening in the earth. They're preparing to fight against Yahweh Shai. They're preparing to fight each other. Everybody's, separated. And at that time, when these things shall come to pass and these signs happen, which I showed thee before, then shall my son be declared. See? We had the book of Luke, the time of the Gentiles being ended, the Gentiles being ended, then comes the Son of Man, the signs that ultimately lead to his coming, which would be spoken by the prophets into existence. All right. And when all the people shall hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have against one another. They're going to leave the battle that they have against one another, because it's going to be the world war. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and overcome him by fighting. See? And ultimately the Lord, as it says here, he's just going to ultimately rebuke those wicked inventions that these nations have brought forth. You're going to lose. All right. But war is being prepared, because ultimately that's what prophecy said would happen. And these vessels, like Putin and Russia, they're only, being used as vessels to fulfill the very prophecies that we're reading. Okay. Vladimir Putin has threatened the West with total nuclear destruction, leaving no chance of survival in the event of a strike on Russia, which that's coming. All right. In a ranting anti-U.S. speech, the dictator said in his powerful Satan II and flying Chernobyl missiles are ready for deployment. All right. In an ammonious doomsday warning. Okay. Putin told the conference in Sochi, from the moment the launch of the missiles is detected, no matter where it comes from any point of the world, ocean, or from any territory, okay, such a number, so many hundred of our missiles will appear in the air, all right, in a retaliatory strike, and there will be no chance of survival, and there will be no single enemy left, all right, in several, all right, directions at once. Let's get 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter now. See that? This is what's going on in the earth, man. Let's see here. I just get to the point. Verse 12, the earth quaketh in the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up in the waves from the deep, and the waves are troubled, and the fishes thereof before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, and his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again. All right. Until they come upon the earth. So ultimately, boom, this is what I want. All right. Like verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues, all right, that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. All right. And those arrows, is symbolic of the prophets, but also these missiles. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's get that scripture, the glittering sword. All right. Job 20 and 23, when he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bolt of steel shall strike him through. See that? He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bolt of steel shall strike him through. All right. And ultimately, that's those missiles, man. So the Lord got a lot going on in the earth, and there's more to come. This is why they're talking about, All right. The U.S. military industrial complex is planning a military draft. All right. So Americans can fight the bankers' third world war. That third war is coming. They're going to institute a draft. All right. And as far as the rest, what I'll do is I'll go into this in the next news and prophecy. We'll be back with more. Hopefully, I'll edify on to the next. Shalom.